up against the wall?
It's live.
Oh.
I think. There we go. Good morning, everyone. This is Attorney Catherine Henry. So, as all of you know, there's just been a lot of negative stuff going on. We have negative stuff that we're seeing in the media every day. We have negative stuff that we're hearing from the governor every day. Because the governor has issued these illegal and unconstitutional executive orders that are set up to force business owners to police their customers and their clients, we see that there's ugliness going on in that realm as well. And we're all humans, right? So we've seen some of the ugly side of human nature come out even amongst the grassroots organizations that are, in theory, all trying to make a difference. So what can you do about it? That's what this video is about. Number one, I would urge you to sign the petitions. There's the 1945 repeal out there. That petition is literally just focusing on repealing or taking away the 1945 Emergency Powers of Governor Act. On the one side, it's not going to get rid of or end Governor Whitmer's use of executive orders. She has been basing, and all prior governors have been basing their executive order emergency powers on the 1976 statute, which you guys can see right on the legislature's website. That goes all the way back to 1993 to show us exactly which orders are there. However, it is a step in the right direction, and it's not going to harm anything by signing that petition. So that is one step that you can take. The Recall Whitmer petition, as of today would be the last day of the 40-day appeal period that the statute allows for Governor Whitmer's appeal of the recall petition against her. So starting tomorrow, you could sign a recall petition. Now, I've heard rumors back and forth about whether the recall was actually officially dismissed or pulled from the founders of that organization. I haven't seen confirmation in writing, and I haven't heard confirmation from any of the government agencies involved. So as soon as I do hear something on that, I'll let you know. But at this particular point in time, my understanding is it's still out there and still available. So hopefully we can get some information from those who are circulating that petition and figure out for sure if it is valid to be signing now, or if we have to start over with some new language being submitted. But if you do see one, you can sign that. Now, it won't give us a choice in replacement. So if you do a recall of the governor under Article 5, Section 26 of our state constitution, it automatically goes to the lieutenant governor. Same thing if you impeach her, or if she resigns or she dies in office, it goes to the lieutenant governor. That particular position is different than any other position that we can do a recall for. Also, assuming that the recall, let's say it starts today and we're able to go ahead and get all the signatures needed for that, which is just shy of 1.2 million, I believe, then that's great, but we won't be able to see the governor removed from office until May of 2021. That will be the soonest that Governor Whitmer will be removed from office, looking at the recall route. However, it sends a message, doesn't it? If in 60-day period of time we're able to get over 1 million signatures from actual registered voters across the state of Michigan, that enough is enough, no more, we're coming after those who are acting unconstitutionally, that sends a message. So go ahead and sign that petition. We need to tell them all that we, the people, don't approve. Of course, there's the Restore Freedom Initiative constitutional amendment petition. That's the one that I drafted. And, you know, it's on the one side, it won't be on the ballot until November 2022. So that's the downside that we're going to see with that one. The upside is, as it's been referred to, it's the grand slam. It's the grand slam to permanently fixing all of the government overreach and the infringement upon our rights. It would take care of everything that's wrong with the 1945 Act and the 1976 Act and the Public Health Code and all the other government overreach that we've been seeing. It reins that in a long-lasting, clear way. But it won't be on the ballot till 2022. So go ahead and sign each of these petitions. Circulate these petitions. That's the next thing you can do. It doesn't have to be a situation where you are you've been someone that's politically active all your life, or you know that you don't even have to be a people person. You know at least one or two people in your life who do not like what's going on here in Michigan. Ask them to sign the petition. It could be any of those, but ask them. Go ahead and do big events. If you feel called to do big events, doesn't matter if you've done them before or not. We, at least in our camp, the Restore Freedom Initiative, we have people that will help you. We'll get those advertised. We'll get the word out. We'll try to help find circulators if you don't have any enough for your big event. Certainly, if it's a Restore Freedom Initiative petition event, let our team know if you want me to be there to speak on behalf of the organization, to answer questions, to explain or describe things in the Restore Freedom Initiative constitutional amendment petition. But even if you don't do big events, you can do those conversations with your neighbors, your friends, your family, people you go to church with, people you work with, your coworkers, and your anybody that you really see on a regular basis. Go ahead and ask them. Have that conversation. Just make it a conversation with them. We need to have more conversations with people around us. We have people that are doing park and ride locations. So head over to a big area where people park and, you know, carpool, or, you know, some other kind of collection point for people, boat launches, or all kinds of things like that, where it's a good ingress and egress type of situation. And that would be a great opportunity for you to have a ton of people all in one spot that you can collect signatures for. Just keep them in your car. When you're driving around, you end up at your doctor's office, or you end up at a garage sale, or, you know, you never know what situation you'll end up in where somebody's talking and you go, you know what? If somebody reaches out to shake your hand, if you see somebody not wearing a mask, those are the kinds of people that are most likely going to sign any of these petitions. A garage sale. We're going to have a garage sale here pretty soon, I think this weekend, and that's a perfect opportunity. Two birds, one stone, right? You get to sell the stuff that you need to get rid of, and you can have the opportunity for people to learn more about the petitions you're circulating, or a petition that you're circulating, and have them sign the petition. Introducing language. That's another thing you can do. If you think you are on board with, for example, the 1945 repeal, but you understand that we need to get rid of the 1976 statute as well, let's do this. Get it done. If you want somebody to review language that you've looked at, maybe you've kind of followed the format that Stand Up Michigan has done with their 1945 repeal, and you want to do the same thing with the 1976 Act, I'd be more than happy to look it over and make sure that you're meeting all of the requirements of the statutes with regard to those kinds of petitions. Absolutely. There's some constitutional provisions involved, and there's some statutory provisions, and I have no problem looking at that for you. The Public Health Code, at least the two that I'm aware of that I've shared with you that are bad news, where they can, unrelated to having an emergency declared, they can get a warrant to go out and get you, to detain you, to transport you, to observe you and diagnose you and treat you however they see as necessary or appropriate. Let's get rid of that one. Let's get rid of the statute that talks about the power of our government to shut down our right to assemble for any reason whatsoever. Let's get rid of that statute. There's no reason why we can't have multiple repeal petitions going at each time. So have them all together, even at the same spot. So somebody can just sign for the 1976 and the 1945 and the Public Health Code and whatever else is there. Let's go ahead and get it done in one foul swoop. Don't spread the negative stuff. If you see something that's negative about, some negative propaganda that the governor or the Attorney General of the state of Michigan or, the media in general is trying to put out there, don't share that. They already have a platform. Don't give them another platform. Help us be part of the platform for freedom and truth. And make sure that, when it comes to negative information about any of the grassroots organizations, ask, is it helping or hurting that you're sharing that information? And in what capacity are you sharing that? We need truth about the substance of things, but we don't need personal attacks. So if we just need to have that balance, right? We need to make sure that we're sharing information. People have the right to know what a particular petition is going to do or where donated funds are going or whatever. But we don't need to hear personal attacks like those that were made on me yesterday, that I'm a horrible mom and I'm a horrible wife and I'm just awful to all human beings or whatever. That hurts, right? I don't need to be treated that way. You guys don't need to be treated that way. Let's make sure that we're also not treating leaders of those other organizations like that either. So stick to the truth. Stick to the substance of what impacts the people and ask that question, is sharing this information or making the comment in this way, is it helping or is it hurting? And to that I give the credit to Tammy, because Tammy is definitely the one that has brought that statement forth to my attention recently and on more than one occasion. Watch bills. Here's another thing you could do. You could help us to watch the bills that are coming out from the legislature to see what it is that they're working on, what kind of crap they're trying to sneak past us. Don't just look at those summaries at the beginning, because honestly that has nothing to do with anything. It's required to be in there, but when it comes down to how a judge would decide on a case, they're not going to look at the summary. They're going to look at the actual text of the bill. So look at the text of the bill. Figure out what's going on. Don't take somebody's word for it. Read it for yourself. And if you think that there's a problem with a particular bill, let our team know. There's ways to do that through our website, restorefreedommi.com. I'd be more than happy to bring light to some sort of bill that we need to stop and address right away. Show kindness. It might seem like a really obvious one, but show kindness. Let's think about this mask issue. Don't go assuming just because you see someone with a mask on that they're a sheep, right? Or that they're doing something wrong, or that they would judge you. They might very well have had a conversation with their doctor and determined that for their particular health situation or someone in their household, that wearing a mask in that particular setting is what's best for them. We don't need to judge that. Or if you're on the other side of that and you think, gosh, the governor's told us we have to wear masks, or businesses are now requiring masks, so therefore everybody has to wear masks, that's just the way it is. If you see someone without a mask on, don't judge them. You haven't walked a mile in their shoes. You have no idea if they have some sort of breathing issue that causes problems with that, or post-traumatic stress disorder, or any kind of lung issue, or even a facial issue. I've had people reach out to me that have had significant, skeletal issues anywhere on their face or on their head that maybe have healed enough to the point that people can't actually see it anymore, but they're still there and it's very painful. We need to be mindful of that. So be kind to others. Write letters. I mean, that might seem like the thing of the olden days, right? Write letters to the justices of the Michigan Supreme Court Write letters to the justices of the U.S. Supreme Court. Write letters to our state legislators. Your senator, your state rep, the Senate Majority Leader, the Speaker of the House. Write letters to all of them. Write letters to the Governor, the Attorney General, the Secretary of State. Let them know that these kinds of things are not okay. Express your opinion and your voice. Have your voice be heard on whatever the issue is. If you want to talk to them about masks or the general idea of executive orders or government overreach or, contact tracing, whatever your concern is, make sure you're reaching out to them. And it's at all levels. And don't think that your voice doesn't matter in that sense. This is a time that is unlike any other time in our history, at least in my lifetime, and most likely in the lifetime of anybody else watching this. We have the ability to really have people engaged and awakened and connected through technology or other means to be able to know how to connect with nearly every other person. Utilize those opportunities that we have in this day and age. Reach out to people and have your voice heard on those things. Do not underestimate the power of your voice alone. Write or email the national news outlets. Try to get them to focus on bringing the story to what's going on here in Michigan. I know the national news outlets have reported on things, but reach out to Glenn Beck or Tucker Carlson or, I don't know, anybody else that I am totally blanking on. I don't watch the news personally, but reach out to them, whether it's radio or TV or podcast. Try to bring their attention to what's going on here in Michigan so we can team up and we can have people from all across the country that are going to step up and try to preserve or restore those rights that are guaranteed to us in the U.S. Constitution. Donate. So there's a lot of stuff happening, right? We have, I can't speak for the other organizations. I know that with my organization, not a single person is paid out of those committee funds. Not a single person. We have, well, I can tell you for us, our expenses so far that the committee has paid for it's totaling just under $10,000 for all the printing that we've done so far, as well as some small amount of money that went towards a computer program for validating signatures. But that's for us, that's it. But then again, I don't have 10 grand to just throw at this thing. I don't know about you guys, but we're an entirely grassroots organization. So we don't have big donors. If you have 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, 500, 1,000, whatever, if you have $5,000 that you feel like needs to be put towards good use of restoring our freedom here in Michigan, please feel free to reach out and donate. We have a donate button on our page. There's different places that you can donate on there. There's ways that you can donate online, or you can send a check or whatever. But every little bit does help. So I know that the only other petition that's been out there and circulating, overlapping with mine, has been the 1945 repeal. My printing costs are a little under $10,000. Their printing costs are apparently about $300,000. So I'm not sure why that is. I didn't dig into the campaign finance report, but so there's a significant cost there. And I don't know, I haven't talked to them to figure out like where they're at in terms of bringing in funds. But if you guys want to look at which organizations are out there collecting funds to be able to turn around and use for purposes like these, you can go to the Michigan Secretary of State website and look up the campaign finance reporting, and you'll be able to see how is money being spent at each organization. You can look up Restore Freedom Initiative. I'm not sure how the Stand Up Michigan stuff is done, if the 1945 repeal is done as Stand Up Michigan, or if it's done as Unlock Michigan, or whatever that's under, but I'm sure you'll be able to figure it out and look them up that way. I don't know if Michigan United for Liberty has any kind of dog in the fight, so to speak, that they would have a campaign finance report that's due. Your legislators, anybody running for office, is required to have that campaign finance reporting unless they have the waiver, because they're going to spend less than $1,000. So go ahead, if you have any questions about how the money is being spent or what donations are coming in or how many people in general are donating, go to those campaign finance reports with the Michigan Secretary of State website. Let's see. What was I going to say about that? Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Make sure you go out and vote. Oh my gosh, next Tuesday, a week from today. Go vote. Don't think that there's nothing we can do until, the next governor's election or, whatever. Vote next Tuesday. Figure out how, when, if your polling place is looking like it's not going to be open or that you're supposed to have done that by absentee. Do whatever it is that you need to do to figure out how to get your voice heard and vote. Every single race matters. So whether it's local school board you're looking at, those small school board races are going to be huge in terms of how's it going to look for our kids when the governor is pushing these executive orders or these mask mandates or social distancing in school for little kids. Make sure you know who you're voting for. Local school board or city council or township trustee or your state rep races. Any kind of race that's going to be on your ballot. You can go to the Secretary of State website. You can click on elections and you can see the sample ballot, so you can plug in all of your information and know exactly what will be on your ballot next Tuesday. So go ahead and do that. Please do that ahead of time. Do it today. Make sure you have a whole week to look up every single person in those races because it's important. Not a single race on there is unimportant. So make sure you're getting involved and you know who you're voting for, because now is the time. Now is the time. Do door knocking. If you look on that list and you see people that are where they stand, on a particular issue or all the issues is something worth fighting for, offer to go door knocking on behalf of that candidate, or offer to, reach out to their campaign to see if they need any help in walking in any kind of event or parade, or sitting and having a booth at any kind of location and handing out their campaign literature, making phone calls to get out the vote, any of that. Reach out to them and see if that's something that they need. Whether you're someone who doesn't have a ton of people skills, or maybe you don't have a car, or maybe you don't have any money to donate towards things, there's always something that you could be doing. Each and every one of you has the power to influence this whole situation greatly. So that brings me to the last point of volunteering with a grassroots organization in some other way. So obviously circulating, or with our organization, we have area captains. We definitely need those positions filled, so please make sure to reach out to us if you are willing to help in that way in any capacity. But I know for us, we need help with going through all of the hundreds, or probably thousands at this point, of legal requests that we're getting. I have so many people contacting me asking me if I can represent them on cases, or how do they handle this mask situation or that other whatever, COVID-19 related situation. I have dozens of people every day that are asking just the small questions, but I also have people that are asking for full representation. If you're a paralegal, if you're an attorney, anybody with that strong legal background that you can help try to go through those, provide them with answers and connect with them in any kind of way, reach out to me. See if we can work something out for you to be a part of the team. It's all volunteer. I'm not getting paid by this work either, so I can't pay you. But if you are willing to step up and help in that regard, we'd love to have you on board, so reach out. For us, I know that on restorefreedommi.com we have the Get Involved tab. Has all kinds of different ways to get involved. So please check out that full laundry list of ways that you can get involved and join up with us in any and every single one of those that you feel like you are being led to do. We could certainly utilize you in more than one position, so please don't hesitate to do that. So at any rate, that is a good, solid overview of all the different ways that you can be doing something right now. You can combat the negative. You can change that false narrative. You can be the one that you know who is making a difference. Don't doubt for a second, no matter who you are, where you are in the state, what your particular life circumstances or situation is, that you would at all be limited in making a difference. you can make a difference. And I look forward to working with each and every one of you as you begin to do that, or as you continue to do that. And, I don't know if I actually said this. Let me look at my list. I don't think I did. Pray. Please pray. Please pray that you have guidance and know how it is that you should be taking on this fight, that God can guide your words and your actions in this whole thing. Pray for all of us as leaders of all of these grassroots organizations, that we know what route we're supposed to take and what words we should speak. Please pray for our safety and our well-being, that, some of us receive threats from time to time, but we certainly have a lot of that negative that tries to tear us down on a regular basis. So don't forget to pray on those issues, and please know that you are valued and you are important. And if you're not registered to vote yet, go ahead and make sure that happens, because your voice does need to be heard. So thank you very much to everyone watching here, and have a wonderful day.